Greetings and welcome to Your Health Light. Dr. Singh, your favorite food therapist, acupuncturist, herbalist, and more. If this is your first time at this video, please take the time and touch the subscribe and the bell with the pair. Please touch that for future videos to upload on its own automatically to your device. Also, participate by leaving a comment regarding the video. If you are already a subscriber, thank you for your support. Engage by touching the bell and leaving a comment. Lesson 00 on YouTube and how it works to send videos like this in the algorithm so it could keep moving so other people could get the benefit and exposure to videos like this. Today's topic is about herbs. Herbs is found in a variety of places. You can find herbs in the sea vegetation, plants, and you can also find it in a tree. A variety of herbs that's found in these places would not live and survive unless if it has the following. It needs sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. In exchange, we benefit by the plant or the tree offering us oxygen. So we're cooperating with each other. We need the oxygen, they need the carbon dioxide. As simple as that. So if you're considering having herbs growing in your home, you could certainly do so. You could do it with hydro gardening. It would have to be an herb where it's something that has a softer leaf, like a sweet basil or a thyme. You'll actually see the roots sprouting out if you just put it in water. Even a lettuce, you'll see that grow as well. But again, you need those items that I just said. So exposure to sunlight, the carbon dioxide, and water is very essential. And you'd be amazed as to what you could see in terms of growing these items in your home, hydro gardening. Now, next up, the thing about herbs is this. All over the world, herbs has been used for thousands and thousands of years in many, many ways. Meaning the theory is different. The herbs could be the same or they could be different, but the theory is different. What do I mean by that? All right. Africa has its theory. India has its theory. China has its theory. That would be TCM. India, China, Africa, then you have American folk theory on herbs. You have European. So all over the world, people are being known to have cultural tradition of using herbs. Simple as that. It doesn't matter where you come from. A long time ago, this is what was used in a variety of ways. Now, let's have a basic understanding. Number one of the most phenomenal trees in the world is called the neem tree. That you could find a lot of that in India. Why I say it's phenomenal is because it's very loved, because of the different things and the different aspects of that particular tree. Next up, I bet you didn't know that when people tell you that cinnamon is good for diabetes, you're thinking, well, I'll just get cinnamon. That's not true. It's the Ceylon, Ceylon, cinnamon, which that means it's a different part of the tree. And that is what we they find that constituents is good for people who are diabetic. So we have different parts of the tree, different parts of the plant, seed vegetation, all of these things are a combination. In addition, you have herbs. Well, let's just put it this way. You have pharmaceuticals where you have certain things like your mouthwash. Your mouthwash also has an herb. What is that herb? It's thyme. Anytime you see thymol, you're referring to thyme. Another thing is even in makeups, they have an herb in that. But that comes from a seed, and I will tell you the name of that herb at the end of this video. You might be very surprised and you might be amazed or not. I don't know. It depends on what you know. So the willow tree is also known to be first used to develop aspirins. The cocoa tree, very known, very beloved, namely in Colombia. It does grow in other parts of the world, but that was used in order to do anesthesia, to have the numbing of the mouth for people who are getting dental work. So different herbs and different parts of the tree and roots and leaves and barks and all of these things is what has procured either something good, depending on how it's used, or maybe something that's not so good. Because we do know that some of these herbs are used in a recreational way. For instance, that same cocoa plant, once used for the benefit of numbing somebody's mouth because of anesthesia, is now being utilized in not such a pleasant way where it's now a problem because it's addictive and it creates problems because it is a drug. So you could look at drugs as having constituents of herbs, but again, it depends on how you want to use it. By nature, it's here for something good, but how you choose to use it is where it all lies as to what is the benefit of a particular herb. Surprisingly, I found out very recently that cassava, the same thing that we know, cassava, yucca, that is in the Philippines, and they use it a lot. They use it for pastries. It's in pastries on a lot of dishes. So that is an item that I covered, and I gave some warnings about it. And it's due to the high estrogen level. Now, you might wonder, well, if that's the case, if it's so bad, well, why aren't people sick? Or why is this and why is that? Different things affect people differently. And so, therefore, that is the point and that is the bottom line. Now, a long time ago, there was a spice trade. This spice trade that I'm speaking about is the one between China and the one between Jamaica. There is a large population of people from China, I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about before, where men used to get on boats and travel all the way to Jamaica for the purpose of spices. As a result, what happened is these men from China, they would have families in Jamaica, then they would return home on the same boat and have families in China. And I know this because of direct conversations with people who have a long-standing life in Jamaica. They are Jamaican, although their origin is from China. So spices got a lot of people, and I'm speaking about men right now, to Jamaica all because of spices. Next up, TCM has their own theory. So you have TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, you have African, you have Indian, then you have the American, then you have European. Again, different theory, maybe the same herbs, maybe different herbs, but the theory is different, how they propose to utilize it. One of the aspects pertaining to TCM is as follows, and this is just one aspect. They'll categorize the herbs in terms of taste. For example, you have pungent, volatile oils, you got sweet, you got sour, you got bitter, and you got salty. Different tastes ascribed to different herbs. Now, the pungent is the volatile oils. The sweet is allergic. The salty is softening. The bitter is purgative. And the sour is astringent. This is on a chemical level. Now, because I said the sweet tasting herb, it does not mean that it tastes sweet like how sugar would taste. It's the constituents of the herb that would make it go into that category. So we have different types of herbs that's utilized in theory in different parts of the world. Now, foods such as let's get back to the spices first. The spices that I believe and that I know to be more readily grown in a home would be things that has soft leaf. Sweet basil, thyme, and another thing is lettuce. They will definitely grow in your home. In fact, the Nepalis, I didn't show you this. This grows even without water. But it was in sunlight. It was in a window. It had carbon dioxide. And it had condensation, which is in the air, its own water. It's not growing very fast. It probably needs to be in the water. Herbs could be utilized for good or, depending on how you choose it, as bad. The herb that is utilized for makeup, and I wonder if you know what it is. I'll take a few minutes and let's see if you can guess. It comes from a seed. I did a video on it before, and I'll tell you what it is. It comes from the castor oil seed. That is what they have in a lot of makeup. Until next time.